Good day, students. I still remain Aladeokin Olumide James. Recall that we talked about introduction to nitrogen cycle. But today, we'll be looking at bacteria in nitrogen cycle. Previous knowledge, we've talked about the study about nitrogen. Then we also look at the cultural component of it, the cultural, the contextual component of it as well. Then we also look at what are the various forms of nitrogen used by living organisms. Those are what we've learned and taught before. Now, at the end of this class, you should be able to identify the various bacteria that plays important role in nitrogen cycle. First is symbiotic bacteria. Many microorganisms fix nitrogen symbolically by partnering with a host plant. The plant provides sugar from photosynthesis that are utilized by the nitrogen-fixing microorganism for the energy it needs for nitrogen fixation. In exchange for their carbon sources, the microbe provide fixed nitrogen to the host plant for its growth. Azobetas, these are rhizobiums or Bradaizobium bacteria which colonize the host plant's root system and cause the roots to form nodules to house the bacteria. The third is under this symbiotic bacteria is the nitrobacter, which turns the nitrite into nitrate, while nitrosomonas transform ammonia to nitrate. Both kinds of bacteria can act only in the presence of oxygen, that is O2. Take, for instance, symbiotic bacteria, an instance of where you stay with your parents. That is an example of this symbiotic bacteria. Take for another instance, you among your friends. The relationship is symbiotic. Let's continue further. Associative bacteria. Species of Aspergillium are able to form close associates with several members of the grasses, including agronomical important cereal crops such as rice, wheat, corn, oat, and barley. These bacteria fix appreciable amount of nitrogen within the rhizosphere of the host plant. For instance, associative. Several of our parents, they have association. Those are the things common around us. You have meeting associations. You also have in your schools where you have jet clubs, debate clubs. Those are association. Those are physical things that you can see, which is the same way that you have all these associative bacteria. Let's continue further. Free living bacteria. Free living and fixing bacteria are also a source of nitrogen for crops. For example, rice producers, they add aquatic azolla fern to their field as green manure, and azolla serve as a habitat to Anabenia azula, cyanobacteria type, forms of egg-fixing property. Take for instance now, you know, you have, there are some of your friends who don't stay with their parents, who stays alone. They are free. These are examples of free living bacteria. They are free in the sense that they take no authority from anybody. They are just on their own, just as your parents are, who doesn't have the father and the mother anymore. They are just on their own. This is a sign, kind of an example of how you can understand these free living bacteria. And the last one is a fortifying bacteria. Fortifying bacteria use amino acid or urea as an energy source to decompose dead organisms. In the process, they produce ammonium ion, nutrifying bacteria, nitrosomonas, then convert this ammonium into nitrates, which can then be used by plants to create more protein, thus completing the nitrogen cycle. Bacillus stubilis and Pseudomonas fluorescens are examples of what all these decomposer bacteria. Look at this biodiversity, all in an ecosystem. Just the way you see plants, you see different plants, you see even among the different plants are growing. You see the soil, everything, symbiosis, everything in conjunction together, everything working in cooperation. Furthermore, I want you now to go, when you get to use the internet, ask your parents about the stages of nitrogen cycle. And that is what you are going to be talking about the next time when we meet. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.